The Church Fathers provide our earliest insight into the Ebionite group, a Jewish Christian movement that were concerned with following Jewish laws and rites. The name Ebionite translates to poor ones, suggesting that they saw virtue in assuming voluntary poverty. They're said to have rejected the teachings of Paul, considering him a heretic, and they snip out the first few chapters of Matthew to curate their own particular brand of religion. The Ebionites are not special in this regard. A lot of what we know about the Ebionites comes from the Church Fathers rebuking them as Judaizers, and a Judaizer is a term given to Christians who teach that it is necessary to embody and adopt the Jewish customs and practices, especially those found in the Law of Moses, saying that this is necessary to be saved. While not endemic to any one particular group, I have found personally that a lot of these Messianic sort of Hebrew flavoured expressions of Christianity tend to put a prize on getting the words right. And I'll explain what I mean by that as we get into this video. That's what this video is seeking to ultimately address, is this real name thing. And a grander point will manifest from that one particular point. But first things first, I've been looking at a group called the Messianic Non-Trinitarian Congregation of Our Father YAHWEH. And this is a group born of these sort of Ebionite ideals. And here's a little taste of some of their comments. Here we have someone giving their insight into the person of Jesus. But the comment below it's what I want to draw our eye to. Because Father YAHWEH Almighty is not a god. God is a pagan deity from German Gott. And then another one. Just a picture here where we have and then in the Hebrew, Yahweh spoke to Moshe, not Moses, but Moshe, saying, "Speak to all the congregations of the children of Yisrael, not Israel, and say to them, be set apart for I," and again in the Hebrew, Yahweh, "your Elohim, not God, I'm set apart." And then we have it in the book of YAHWEH, otherwise known as Leviticus. And then in another one we have a lot of Hebrew terms used here. For this week's Torah parasha is called Emor, which means speak, laws pertaining to the purity and holiness of Kohanim. So there's lots of this going on here. Another one, who is Yahushua Mashiach, and who is Jesus Christ. And then we have someone saying, rebuke demons and you will see who they obey. And then we have other people talking about how Jesus comes from the Greek god Zeus. Here we have a rabbi teaching that Jehovah is not the real name of the Father. And then we have 10 biblical reasons why you should not use the name Jesus. Okay, this is what I'm calling the Incantation Gospel. Incantation comes from the late Latin incantare, meaning chant or bewitch, and is defined as a series of words said as a magic spell or charm. And that's what I mean. The Incantation Gospel is the gospel of making the right sounds with your mouth, as if that was the central point that the Messiah meant to convey, as if casting a spell is the thrust of the Messiah's message. And that's not to say that there's no joy or utility in seeking out ancient words and striving for a good translation. Those are venerable pursuits. Even a wee mantra can be a bit of a great benefit to someone. My criticism is with the dogmatically held belief that the sounds trump the matter or mute the spirit. Jesus or Yeshua or Yahweh are just noises. Satanists can say them and blaspheme them. They are the movement of molecules by and through our lips, teeth, alveolar ridge, hard palate, velum, soft palate, uvula, glottis and various parts of the tongue. Definitely needed notes for that. I want to submit. Right, this is what I want to submit. I want to submit that noise production is not the name. And I say name because I'm trying to communicate that in italics. Okay? Name. So what is a name? That's a good question. A name is in all the connotations surrounding the utterance. For example, if someone said Brian Shaw is gonna have a stern word with you, you might not care. Brian Shaw, it's just a noise. Who cares about Brian Shaw? If, however, you saw him win or heard of his World's Strongest Man Championship title, then you might care about Brian Shaw coming to have a stern word with you. Yahweh is not the noise Yahweh, which alone is a biophysical, biochemical phenomenon known as sound and received as hearing. Yahweh's name is his spirit. It's the essence of who he is. The richest timbered voices and the sharpest ears will fail to utter or hear in their biological limitation the awesome wonder of God. That's felt so much more profoundly. This is why Jesus or God are fine by me. Those words are fine. The noise we make isn't magical. The motivations of our hearts are. The spirit of our intent or our faith is mountain moving. This faith of ours is not a theology. It's a matter of heart. Now, I don't follow the Messianic non-Trinitarian congregation of our Father Yahweh to mock. I don't mean to trash the Ebionites or consider Judaizers to be utterly useless. Again, religion is not the destination. Religion is the vehicle. And the best religion for you is the one that takes you closer to God. We're all different beings. We all express ourselves differently. We all have particular personality characteristics and traits, capacities and abilities, and these will be expressed differently, and we will find that particular modes of religion work better for us. The key thing here is that we're all making progress in the same way, and I'll get to that. And if that sounds offensive to you, listen to this message and let me know if you disagree with my ultimate point, because we're getting close to it here. See, the reason you clutch your pearls up in hearing something like that is if you're a Christian, let's say, and you consider the words of Jesus in John 16:6, which is in the Young's literal translation read, Jesus saith to him, I am the way and the truth and the life. No one doth come to the Father if not through me. It's often said as except through me. And that works fine too, but I often source the literal translation in my search for clarity. Again, this isn't an attack on translators, but utterance over spirit. So let's read that again. I am the way, the truth, and the life. No one comes to the Father except through me. Notice that the Christ doesn't say, I am Jesus and Jesus and Jesus. No one doth come unto the Father if not through Jesus. Now, that's nuanced because he might as well be saying that, but only if you've got ears to hear. See, in the Brian Shaw example, I conveyed how a person's characteristics comprise who they are, and the characteristics of Jesus are, in essence, God, the way, the truth, the life. That's who Jesus is. Jesus isn't the brown-haired, blue-eyed, olive-skinned Jewish carpenter at this point. That's the material avatar of Christ. In spirit, he is one with God. For I have not spoken of myself, but the Father who sent me. He gave me a commandment, what I should say and what I should speak. Then answered Jesus and said unto them, Verily, verily, I say unto you, the Son can do nothing of himself, but what he sees the Father do. For whatsoever things he does, these also does the Son likewise. Jesus speaks not of himself and does likewise as the Father. Therefore, Jesus is the way, the truth, and the life. There is no way to the Father except the way, the truth, and the life. If you really understand that, you understand why the Messiah could say in John 14:12 that people will come along and do greater works. They'll do greater things than he has done. And that's not because they're the super Christ. That's not because they have the super way, the super truth, the super life, do they? Rather, it's because they're all one. Christ wasn't excluding in his statement, but including everyone. Whosoever desires, let him take the water of life freely. And all who hear the truth may come and drink. Abraham, Melchizedek, Cyrus the Great, who was titled Messiah, the Magi from the East, pagans following truth, intuiting the good things of God, the fruits of the Spirit. For not the hearers of the law are just in the sight of God, but the doers of the law will be justified. For when the Gentiles who do not have the law by nature do the things in the law, these, although not having the law, are a law to themselves, who show the work of the law written in their hearts, their conscience also bearing witness, and between themselves their thoughts accusing or else excusing them. The wind blows where it wishes, and you hear the sound of it, but cannot tell where it comes and where it goes. So is everyone who is born of the Spirit. Maybe a sinner's prayer is exactly the kind of catalyst that you need, that somebody needs out there. It could be meditating in a forest vista or sitting at an office desk. It could be in the midst of a spiritual crisis or just out of reach from nirvana. It could be while you're reading through the Quran, the TV guide, or the Bible. God's purpose for you will not elude you. If truth is to be found, you will know it. There's some ideas here that I would like to discuss in more detail, and I think I'll do that in a discussion in a hangout tomorrow. So I'll do a live stream tomorrow and we can get into these meaty matters. I hope that you have an opinion or a comment, and I would like you to share it below, because I'm sure you'll have deeper and greater insights to offer, and I genuinely love to read through comments when people have picked up on something. Maybe you've heard something and thought that's not quite right, or maybe you've heard something and thought I can build on that. He's made a point, but he hasn't made it as well as I can make it, so I'm going to go ahead and make it in the comments for him. There you go, brother. So go ahead. I appreciate all my brothers and sisters watching. I love to hear from you, you know. I'm getting to recognise your names, and I would like to discuss things with you in more detail. That's what the live streams are for. I'm very happy for people to come in. I'm practicing my Spanish. I know there's some Spanish speakers that like to leave a few comments. I can sing a song in Spanish. I'm not going to do that now. As I say, I'm willing to be corrected, and I welcome your scrutiny or encouragement, whichever you feel like sending out to me. Alright guys, thank you very much for watching. God bless you all, and I hope you enjoyed this. I'll see you tomorrow.